Hi, I'm Brad Ross, Head of Communications for the TTC, and with me is Andy Byford, the CEO of the TTC. And we're at Davisville Station at the automatic entrance to talk, Andy, about the final push, I guess, of construction for new fare gates and those paddle-style fare gates that we're seeing as part of the TTC's modernization efforts. Just a little bit of history and background as to how we got here today and what's coming down the road.
So if you think Line 1 opened in 1954, Line 2 in 1966, and the stations were opened with basically two types of gate. You had the turnstiles that we're very familiar with, and stations like this, secondary exits, were equipped with these high gates. They've served us well, but it really is time now to finish off that modernization push and to move to Presto-enabled fare gates, the paddle gates that we're increasingly seeing around the system. They enable you to use your Presto card, they're easy to use, and they're also accessible. People with mobility impairment will always have a gate line that they can get through.
We started this fare gate change in 2016. We've got 44 stations and 75 entrances done. This is the final phase in getting the final 25 stations finished.
That's right, and it won't be easy, but it's got to be done. I mean, at the end of the day, we don't have the luxury of closing the subway down while we get the work done. We've got to keep stations open, but we must maintain safety, so there will need to be some flexibility. We will need, for example, at some stations to close a little bit early or maybe take weekend closures, but the overriding objective is to get this work done, get these old gates taken out, get the new ones put in, and keep moving people from A to B while we do that.
Okay, thank you. We're going to head down to St. Clair Station now to give you a sense of what a new fare line looks like, as well as what some of the construction impacts will be on those 25 remaining stations. So we're here at St. Clair Station, what used to be an automatic entrance, Andy, much like the Davisville entrance we were just at. Yep. So as you can see, I mean, installing these new fare gates, it's a lot of time and effort in construction.
This is not easy work. It's difficult, it's noisy, it's dusty.
So let's just very briefly give our customers and people watching some sense of what we're going to do at some stations. Yep. So for example, we're going to have a weekend closure at Dundas, followed by a weekend closure at Queen. And what that simply means is that trains will not be stopping at those stations. They won't service those stations.
That's right, and we'll make sure there's plenty of publicity to warn customers of that and to make sure that they know what their alternatives are. The reason for doing that is we took a long look at both stations. Really, there's no alternative. There's so much to do to rip out the old gates, to get the flooring, all the troughing done and the cables put in, to allow time for the concrete to set, and then to get the new gates prepared, ready to go in, and to set up temporary arrangements. So it's the quickest and safest way to do it, and obviously we appreciate customers' forbearance and patience while we do that.
So not just weekend closures, though, we're also then going to have an early closure.
It's a flexible approach. In some cases we need a full weekend, in some other cases we need a bit more time by having an early closure. But the critical point you make is we will always provide an alternative. We will not have 2 consecutive stations in a row under construction, so that we minimize the inconvenience, if you like.
And of course, communications is going to be key. We will make sure that through this video and through posters in stations and ambassadors in stations that customers who are using these stations are well informed about what their alternatives are.
That's right. So that's my absolute commitment to customers. You know, I mean, obviously this won't be easy. I do appreciate customers' patience while we go through the work. It is necessary. It's part of modernization, but we will really push the boat out in terms of communicating everything possible to minimize the inconvenience and to make sure customers know their choices and what's going on and why we're doing it.
And by the end of April of 2018, we'll have completed all of the 25 remaining stations. Finally, with all of these station entrances equipped with new fare gates, Presto enabled, it's really the time now for people to move to Presto, because we are eliminating tickets and tokens in 2018.
We are. Soon they will be part of TTC history, and this is part of a big push, part of that TTC modernization push to get into the 21st century with a state-of-the-art card system. So it's definitely the quick and easy way to pay. My advice to customers is now's the time to migrate across to Presto. We need to make it easy, and as part of this program to remove and to replace the existing gates, we'll also be adding across the whole TTC network a huge number of add value machines. In other words, machines at which you can both check your balance and add value to your card.
In addition to vending machines and stations where you can now be able to purchase a card, that will start to happen in 2018.
Absolutely, okay. They're on their way.
All right, Andy, thank you very much. And thank you very much for watching. For more information, please visit ttc.ca. Every station has its own information page that will give you details around weekend closures or early closures if affected.